Hey guys, I hope that you all have been having a good weekend. I hope that you've been able to get some rest. Today, we're going to continue into studying Western Europe and the geography of it. So, as we're going through the lesson today, I would just encourage you to start thinking of a country in Western Europe that you would like to study further, because on Wednesday when we meet in class, I'm going to have you work on projects in class based on these. So you don't need to begin the project, but I would like you to have a country picked out by the time that we meet again. So we're going to get into more specifics. And so we're going to break up Western Europe into 4 different sections. And so the first section we're going to look at is Mediterranean Europe. And so Mediterranean Europe is made out of Spain, Portugal, Italy, and Greece. So the first nation up is Spain. The capital of Spain is Madrid. It is the largest country in southern Europe. It is surrounded by Portugal, the Bay of Biscay, France, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Atlantic Ocean. So this is a big reason why it's called the Mediterranean, not only because it touches the Mediterranean, but it's surrounded by water. It has a high elevation, and it is made up of tidelands. So that is a swampy area, and then the meseta, which is Spanish for plateau. Spain has a temperate climate, and agriculture is not very strong in Spain, but they do produce a lot of fish because they lay on the water. Excuse me. Now we go into Portugal. Portugal is bordered on the north and the east by Spain, and on the south and west by the Atlantic Ocean. And the Atlantic Ocean covers most of the west coast of, and it covers most of the west coast of the Iberian Peninsula. My apologies. It also is very mountainous, and so because it's very mountainous, it's not very good for agriculture. And they have a lot of thick forests. They also have 2 rivers that cross through it, which is the Douro River and the Tagus River. And the capital is Lisbon, and the climate is very temperate. Next up, we have Italy. Italy is bordered on the north by France, Switzerland, Slovenia, and Austria. It's often called the Boot, which makes it one of the easiest countries on the map in Europe to point out. So it also is pretty mountainous. It has the Alps and the Apennines. It also has the Po River, and is very well known for being the home of the Renaissance. It has a humid continental climate, which is marked by warm, rainy summers and cool, rainy winters. It has fertile soil, so it is excellent for agriculture, and they grow a lot of rice, corn, and wheat there. It also has plenty of islands, and the capital is Rome. Next up, we have Greece. Greece is very well known for being the home of early European civilizations. Like we talked about in class on Friday, we can trace back a lot of things to Greece, to ancient Greece. It consists of the southern Balkan Peninsula and more than 2,000 islands. It's also covered in mountains, and agriculture is a high employer of people in the nation. I believe it is 1/3 of the country's people work in agriculture. And so a lot of what they grow is wheat, garden vegetables, citrus fruit, olives, which they're very famous for. And the capital is Athens. So now we're moving into Central Europe, which is France, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. So France is the first country we're going to be looking at. It is the largest country in Central Europe. It is west of Germany, between the Bay of Biscay and the Mediterranean Sea. It is separated from Spain by the Pyrenees Mountains and from England by the English Channel. It also has the French Alps, which is a mountain range, and it has 3 different rivers that pass through: the Rhine River, Rhone River, and the Seine River. It has a mild marine west coast climate, which is very ideal for growing grapes, which they're famous for, and is good for farming. And the capital of France is Paris. Excuse me. Next up, we have Switzerland. Switzerland is the most mountainous country in Europe. They produce a lot of chocolate, cheese, wood carvings, watches, and music boxes. The capital is Bern. It is well known for being very neutral. They will not go to war, so they're very, very neutral when it comes to conflicts like that between nations. They're landlocked. They have the Rhine River, Rhone River, Swiss Alps, Jura Mountains, and a plateau, which is where most people in the country live because it's so mountainous. That's where the flat areas where they find a place to live. And because of their altitude, it is very affected by, or it affects their climate very highly. And they have a highland or alpine climate. Next up, we have Austria. Austria's capital is Vienna. It has the Danube River that runs through it. It is landlocked and it is a highland. And it produces a lot of graphite, not much agriculture, a lot of tourism as well. That tourism is a big part of the economy and how they bring money in. Next, we have Germany. The capital of Germany is Berlin. It has 4 different rivers that run through it: the Rhine River, the Oder, Elbe, and Danube rivers. And Germany has a lot of broad, fertile plains. The southern land, however, is higher. It has the Black Forest and the Bavarian Alps. In the northwest, they have a marine west coast climate, but then farther from the sea, more southeast, is humid continental. The third section of West Europe is the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. So the Netherlands is known as Holland. It is bordered by Germany and Belgium. The capital is Amsterdam, and it has flat, fertile lands below sea level. And so the Netherlands is very well known for having a canal running through it. It's built on water, and also they're very well known for their flowers, for their tulips. It's one of the first things people think of when they think of the Netherlands or think of Holland, the Dutch. Next, we have Belgium. The capital of Belgium is Brussels. Belgium has a lot of forests, grasslands, pastures, and low mountains, and it used to be part of the Netherlands. Next, we have Luxembourg. There's 2 different parts of Luxembourg, which is how it's broken apart. So the first is the Gutland. So that is the southern region of Luxembourg and is very fertile. In the northern region, however, they have the plateau. The capital is Luxembourg, and it's known as a capital for a central place for banking and finance. Next, we have Scandinavia. And so Scandinavia is made up of 4 countries. You have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland in Scandinavia. Norway extends farther than any European country. It is the northernmost region, or its northernmost regions lie above the Arctic Circle. And so they often call Norway land of the midnight sun because of where the sun hits in the northernmost regions. It has fjords, which are long, narrow inlets of the sea with high rocky banks. They also have a lot of high plateaus and mountains. They get electricity from the water. They have a lot of manufacturing, forestry, and fishing, which helps boost their economy. They have a mild climate due to the currents from the Atlantic Ocean, and the capital is Oslo. Next up, we have Sweden. The capital of Sweden is Stockholm, and it is called Venice of the North. It's only mountainous along the Norwegian border, and it has a lot of forests which produce the lumber industry. And they have a lot of other industries as well. So they have mining, shipbuilding, fishing, production of paper pulp, and steel. They also have fertile plains in the south, and this is where their food is produced. And their climate, in southern Sweden, you have warm summers and mild winters, but in northern Sweden, up in the Arctic Circle, you have cool summers and very cold winters. Next, we have Denmark. The capital of Denmark is Copenhagen. It is part of the Northern European Plain, and that is fertile land used for farming. They export a lot of ham, silverware, and finely crafted furniture. Denmark owns Greenland, which is the world's largest island, and only the coast in Greenland is green. The rest is covered by glacier and ice, so the name's a little off-putting. The last country we're going to be looking at is Iceland. Oh, no, there's two more. Iceland. And Iceland is an island in the Atlantic Ocean just south of the Arctic Circle. It's mostly a high plateau with lowlands at the coast. It has a plateau, so it has glaciers. It also has volcanoes. So you have glaciers, and then on the outside following it, you have volcanoes, hot springs, and steaming glaciers. They also have lowlands with mild climates formed by the ocean currents. And because of the ice and the fire, the hot and the cold, it's often called the land of fire and ice. The capital, which I apologize because I already know I'm going to mess up, it's Reykjavik. That's my guess. But yeah, so that's Iceland. We have Finland next. Finland is between the Scandinavian peninsula and Russia. The capital is Helsinki. Helsinki, yes. It is a low scenic land, and it's covered with thick forests and dotted with thousands of lakes. Excuse me. The economy is boosted by the production of forest products. Next up, actually, that was last. Nice. I apologize. I thought there was one more there. So yeah, those are all of the countries in Western Europe. A little touch of their information, and I'm hoping as you've gone through, you've been thinking about what country you want to study next. So be prepared in class on Wednesday to begin looking into one. And yeah, so if there's any other directions, I'm going to put them in the discussion post, and let me know if there are any questions. Thanks so much.